So how do you know that your Qigong program is working, right? So there are specific markers. And so one of them, when you're doing a Qigong program, you want to make sure that you're building Dantian Qi. If you're not focused on building Dantian Qi, you're not getting much out of the Qigong. Why? Because you need to store the Qi somewhere. So when you're doing the Qigong, that Qi comes into you, but then it dissipates after a couple of days. So you do it again and dissipates. So you need to store it somewhere. Or you need to do some building the Dantian Qi, specific exercise. So one area of the body that you store Qi in is the first area, is the lower Dantian. So that's like the belly button area.
Mm-hmm.
If the belly is, if you have flat abs, like washboard abs, that means there's no Qi in there. Very little. Because where is that Qi going? Right? It has to push out. Right? If you're filling up a balloon, right, with air, what happens? The balloon expands. Right? Otherwise, if you're blowing air in a balloon and there's a hole in it, the balloon won't expand, right? So if you're practicing Qigong and you have washboard abs, guess what?
What?
You don't have Qi in your down. You have very little, meaning you have not built it up where it's expanding to. So what happens is the way it works is that you build up the Qi in your lower Dantian and you build it up until it overflows and it goes to the rest of the body, right? But in order to do that, you need to fill it up so much that now it's pushing against your lower back and your stomach, right? Your lower spine and your stomach, and it's pushing out. So if you had flat abs like this, it's going to go like this. If your arch of the lower arch is like this, it's going to flatten out, right? Because you need to increase the space. As we get older, that space, that the lower dantian where you feel in the energy, that space gets smaller and smaller as we get older. So we need to expand it. So that's what happens. So then what happens is this is the lower spine, it's going to straighten out. This is the abs section, you're going to have a slight pouch. Just a slight one. But if you're like washboard abs and it goes
like you mean a
in,
six pack, right? Like 6-pack or 8-pack, whatever.
6-pack is going in, 8-pack. I'll explain why 6-pack also, but first we're talking about the this way versus this way, right? That because when you're filling up the air, or when you're filling up that Qi, there's space where it goes to. It needs to expand.
Yep.
So if you see someone who says, I'm doing Qigong for many years and I'm blah, 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 and they have washboard abs, they're doing Qigong for many years.
What's washboard? Like 6-pack?
Yeah, like 6-pack, like, like a surfboard abs, like so flat, it's like in and, like that. So if they have something like that, even though they're doing Qigong for a long time, they're not storing any Qi in their Dantian much. If you want your Qigong to be very effective, like you want to achieve what the Qigong literature talks about, or what Qigong science says you can achieve, the number one thing you need to do is store Qi in your system.
Right.
One place that you start, the first place that you store your Qi is in your Dantian. So once that thing, so if you've been doing Qigong for 10 years and you truly stored Qi in your Dantian, you're not going to have washboard abs. Number one. Number two, the second place where you store Qi is in what's called the membranous tissue. That is a membrane, a tissue that wraps around every part of your body. So an easy one to look at is your skin. How many layers does the skin have?
Epidermis, dermis, okay, 7.
7 layers. I think Dr. Yuan says has more, but 7 layers. In science, they say 7 layers, right? Each of those layers is covered with membranous tissue. So the second part where you want to build the Qi, store the Qi, is inside the membranous tissue. So what happens is your membranous tissue is going to get thick, right? Because the same thing like you're blowing air into something, it's going to get thick. So for those people who have cut muscles, striations,
Yeah,
definition.
yeah.
You cannot have that if your skin is thick.
Oh,
So
this
if you
makes
say you're
sense.
practicing Qigong for a long time and you want to know that you're effectively storing qi inside your system, where the two main places are membranous tissue, which is all over your body. Even the cells in your body have a membranous tissue. All the organs inside your system have membranous tissue. But the skin is like the first protection, right? So any viruses that try to come in, anything gets protected, right? So if it's on the skin, if the skin is, all the layers are filled with chi, then you won't see any striations.
And also, they'll be glowing.
Well, yeah, but people who eat like vegetarian type of diets are glowing too, So I'm not going to say, you know what I mean. But but the thickness, that's where you'll see that those bodybuilding type of fitness models that you have, you won't see that. You can have muscle, but you cannot see the definition because you're covered with a thick layer of skin. So there are people who practice qigong for a very long time, but they're hitting a plateau compared to if you were building qi. Like if you're looking at from your Qigong program, if you're looking to get what the Qigong science says you can achieve,
Yep.
then you cannot achieve that without building thick, what do you call it? Filling up the membranous tissue with Qi and building up your Dantian storage area with Qi. If you do that, then your body will change. It will not look like a bodybuilder.
Okay, so back to my personal experience of whatever you're saying, I believe that it's so true, because I have a number of friends who are pretty like fitness. They love going to the gym. They're gym bunnies. And yeah, physically they look really good. They have that six pack. And I remember, a lot of them are posting images of themselves like, yeah, I went to the gym, baby, and all of those things. Like it looks like they're in the peak of their health. But I will never forget when I went on holiday with one of them, like a big group, right? I remember going for a holiday with one of them. The super gym buddy, like we're all, eating at the same times, we're all doing the same things, we're all, having the same activities. But he would tire it out so early on in the day. And he would need to sleep. He would like crash. It's like yeah. And then when I say that you might not be doing something that's really healthy for you, and then he look at me, he's like, what do you mean? Because he couldn't quite understand what I was trying to say. And also I don't think that doesn't matter. When the time is right, people would want to learn what we're sharing and what you're sharing. I've been always curious about this, and like for him, he didn't get what he was doing was not healthy. He was a bodybuilder. When he was much younger, he was a bodybuilder, and he was like a weightlifting champion or something like that. And in the peak of his championship days, he got a stroke. And he didn't get that he was harming his body. And I was with him one day, and we met with my really good friend, a TCM doctor. And the TCM doctor looked at him and said, friend, you may not want to do too much weights for your body. It's like you're overdoing it for your body. You're harming your life force or something. And again, so it's not.
Can you explain what life force is?
Chi. You're draining your chi. Your chi equals your life force. And so my friend didn't get it, and refused to even question or yeah, he just didn't get it.